By way of quick numbers, and these are very important numbers, we received 1,493 calls through the toll-free line, 1,493. We also received 924 emails. Fortunately, all of these calls are recorded automatically, and all the emails have also been preserved for verification and validation. So in total, the number of complaints received amounts to 2,417. So those who had any doubt about how relevant and how timely the president's intervention was at the time, this is your evidence. 2,417 complaints received. Where will all of these people have gone if President Mahama had not set up the oral preparatory team? So President Mahama has been vindicated. It was a masterstroke, it was the right decision for our country, and it has deepened transparency and accountable governance. Over the last 53 days, we have reviewed these petitions. 44 were received directly from civil society organizations and other public-spirited citizens. 59 of the 230 cases reviewed containing the documents we'll be submitting today were cases that had come up during the period the NDC was in opposition. But we decided to go back to those matters and carry out a detailed review. And all of those are contained. So today we will be presenting a summary of these reports, 230 of them which have been analyzed in greater detail. Your Excellency, we also want to bring to your attention that even before we move to phase 2 of oral, which is going to focus on the actual recoveries, the actual retrievals, we have identified 10 initial benefits of oral, and we want to run through them quickly. We take the view that oral has deepened transparency and accountability. It has really increased public awareness about the need to protect state assets. And it is also serving as a guide to the new government. And government officials are now more conscious of the need to make sure that, as President Mahama has consistently said, charity begins at home. Secondly, thanks to the establishment of oral, we have been able to save 50 bungalows that were on the verge of being demolished. 50 bungalows. We received distress calls from public servants who said people had showed up, so-called private developers, to demolish their bungalows. And in the report, we have provided the detailed list of these bungalows, some belonging to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Gender, Social Protection, the CSR, and all of that. But for the president establishing oral, we take the view that all of these 50 bungalows will have been demolished. So what we did is that when we received the complaints, the distress calls, we immediately called the National Security Committee. And we were very privileged because of the president's foresight. He strategically positioned COP Kofi Boakye in oral and also in the National Security Committee. So as soon as the reports come, he then relays the information to National Security Committee. So media, please get it clear. We are not saying that we, Team Oral, physically went to prevent demolition of bungalows. No, that was not part of our mandate. We were only to receive complaints. But as responsible, conscientious citizens, it will be irresponsible to receive the complaints and just allow those bungalows to be demolished. So immediately, national security is informed, and then they act. So please ignore all of those barrage of unfair and baseless attacks that Oral has suffered. We did not carry out any fiscal operation on the ground. We only report to national security, and then they act. We also collaborated with national security to save the Northern Development Authority lands at cantonments. A private developer overnight on the eve of the president's inauguration moved in overnight to erect a wall divided the property into half. Some of you are conversant with that land. It's just opposite the U.S. Embassy, very prime land. That is where the Constitution Review Commission used to sit under Dr. Raymond Atuguba. It was allocated to the Northern Development Authority, and these private developers claim that it now belongs to them. But the staff of NDA called us, and we promptly called National Security, and they moved in. So we were able to save that land. National Security has since demolished the wall, and so the land is safe for the Ghanaian people. We also collaborated with National Security to halt state asset takeovers across the country. You'll see from the report that we have videos and pictures of vehicles whose number plates were being changed, and so that they will virtually steal them for private use. Again, acting on those tip-offs, National Security moved in quickly and were able to save a good number, hundreds of these vehicles. Again, the list is provided in the report. There was also a clash at the Du Bois Center. We received a distress call that a private foundation was taking over. We immediately called National Security. And so what we have done now is to ask that the factions should meet, and the new Minister for Tourism should resolve the matters. Again, if oral had not been established, only God knows what would have happened at the Du Bois Center. Number 6, we have also saved large portions of the agric mechanization lands at cantonments. Those of you who are conversant with that land opposite the Elwak Sports Stadium, all of it had been allocated. But fortunately, when ORA was established, the Association of Vegetable Producers and Exporters reached out to us that that's where they used to operate. Large portions of their facilities had been demolished, but their cold room was on the verge of being demolished. And so we called National Security, they moved in, and we have been able to save large portions. Only, I would say, about 20% of the land has seen some development. Politically exposed persons are building hurriedly, but at least 80% has been preserved, and it is for the president to advise on what will happen because the documentation we have is that all of that land has been sold. And the sad part is that you will see from the report, some people, prime cantonments land, paid as low as 42,000 cedis. 42,000 cedis for a plot of land. Some 160,000 cedis. And these are government officials, MPs, ministers of state. So it was really just a giveaway. I'm sure the president and his advisors will decide on what to do with the rest of the land. Then we also collaborated with National Security to halt the attempted demolition of staff quarters belonging to the Ghana Museums and Monuments Board. That is at the Osukuku Hill. That had also been sold, but thanks to our intervention, at least the demolition has been halted. The president and his advisors will decide what should happen to the staff quarters of the Ghana Museums and Monuments Board. Then we take the view that this oral preparatory team concept offered a more structured and peaceful, non-confrontational channel for citizens to address concerns on the looting of state assets. Imagine what would have happened. We are all aware that transitions in Ghana tend sometimes to be acrimonious and even can degenerate into violence. So if Team Oral had not been established for people to have a formal channel to communicate their concerns, and they decided to take the law into their own hands, imagine what would have happened. So instead of the president being bastardized by a few people, I must say, the vast majority of Ghanaians welcome oral and have commended the president. But a few people who are, raving and ranting, it's clear that this has really helped to ease tensions and to offer Ghanaians who are really coming face to face with looting to report. Number 9, Oral also created a platform for persons of interest to reach out, seeking an opportunity to refund and return what belongs to the Ghanaian people. Quite a number of persons of interest have reached out that they are willing, whether plea bargain or whatever approach, to just have their peace and return, or probably pay the real value for the land that has been given to them. So all of that is contained in the detailed report, and the president and his legal advisors will take a decision on the way forward. Finally, President Mohammed's oral initiative has also attracted phenomenal local and international requests for forensic collaboration to recover the loot hidden offshore. We have received a number of international requests to support this initiative of the president in terms of forensics and to help in offshore retrievals. And all of that is documented in the report. This is for the president to decide on the nature of these collaborations. Some of them have said that it will not cost us anything. They may just ask for a little percentage of success recoveries. But I'm sure the president, the attorney general will advise on that moving forward. We want to conclude with some fascinating figures. The 36 cases that we have reviewed in detail, if we are successful in recoveries, we can retrieve as much as 20.49 billion United States dollars. 20.49 billion United States dollars. 36 cases, and that's from National Cathedral, PDS, SML. You have the GMPC salt pond decommissioning, and we decided that in this open session we will not go into greater detail, and so I want to be restrained. But there's a great deal of resources belonging to the taxpayers that can be retrieved. Then we've also done an estimate of the state capture, the lands. If we successfully ask people to pay conservative market value for the lands they have looted, again, the experts are telling us that we can recover about 702.8 million United States dollars for the Ghanaian people. That's if we just ask people, those who were paying 42,000 cedis, 120,000 cedis, 160,000 cedis, to pay the fair market value. Those are lands that $500,000, $600,000, you will even struggle to get cantonments land at that figure. So very conservative estimates. We take the view that if people are asked to pay the real market value, this is how much we can retrieve. So in all, just a summary, the 36 cases, the high amount cases that we put together, and then the land loot, potentially we can raise about 21.19 billion United States dollars. And that is far more than what we have been chasing the IMF for and subjecting ourselves to all kinds of conditionalities. So we want to renew our appreciation and deep gratitude to His Excellency the President and his team of advisors for this initiative, which has really served Ghana well. And we look forward to the next phase. Even if we will not be involved, we will be very successful when the next phase really conducts retrievals and is successful in making sure that we are able to return to the national kitty resources that belong to the Ghanaian people. We thank you very much for this opportunity.